There are 4 key charts that you'll find above all others in your board papers. And they are the simple line or run chart, the control chart, the Pareto chart, and the distribution. Now, the Pareto is great for determining priorities. The distribution gives you a snapshot of your process in time. The line or run chart is great for detecting structural changes. But the dominant chart within your paper should be the control chart, as that's the single best way of detecting system change. The Pareto chart, as we said, is great for prioritization. All you do is break your data into categories and then line up the biggest bar on the left, then the next biggest, and so on. And the one on the left is obviously priority. So if we look at the example given here, it's about hospital-acquired infections. And the biggest bar on the left is lower UTI. So if you wanted to reduce HAIs, then you would focus on the priority, the bar on the left. And you would have a project team look at lower UTI as a way of improving that particular system. The distribution, or sometimes called the histogram, is great for giving you a snapshot of your data. But it's honestly underused. You very rarely see it within your board papers. There are a couple of examples here just to demonstrate. The top one is about new outpatient appointments. And it's very important that these categories are lined up in order. So initially it's less than 3 weeks, then 3 to 6 weeks, 6 to 9 weeks, 9 to 12 weeks. And there you see the arrow for the national standard of 12 weeks. And all the data to the left of the arrow is in blue, and all the data to the right is in orange. So it's great for giving you that snapshot of the new outpatient appointments. Now below is another example of a distribution. Again, important to line them up in order, and this is about staff demographics. So it's the youngest on the left up to the oldest on the right. And it's important that you've got 16 to 19, 20 to 24, etc. And that gives you a picture of the age distribution of your staff. The run or line chart is simply a plot of the data with respect to time. In this particular example, it's patients seen within 18 weeks of referral, and you can see that there's an obvious structural change, and it's getting better. And we know that because there's a green arrow that says higher is better, and the data over time is trending up the way. However, if the change isn't as obvious as this, then you may need to plot a control chart. And last, but by no means least, the control chart. The single best way of detecting change within your system, which is why it should be the dominant chart within your board papers. It's simply a plot of the data with respect to time, in many respects very similar to the line or run chart, but we add upper and lower control limits, shown in this example by the red lines. So this is mental health referrals within 12 weeks. And the system is relatively stable. There are no points outside the control limits until we get one that's below and then one that's above. And we should go and investigate to find out what was good about the system and then what caused the problems within the system. And we can probably learn an awful lot by going to do that investigation. And it's worthwhile because we know that these are strong signals.